But the Guardian decide to talk about the UNC. UNC fighting with winds of change. So not budget in a mess, not armor in a mess, Attorney General in a mess, President of PNM Balize House in a mess, Commissioner of Police moved from 12th to 1st in a mess, pothole in a mess, jobs in a mess, international soccer money gone, pan in school gone, crime out of hand, 61 million. No, UNC fighting wins. Let's read what the Guardian writes about the UNC. And Guardian, let me give you a little secret, eh? Guardian, don't tell nobody, eh? But the UNC don't care what you say because the UNC know you is PNM. And the more you attack Kamla, is the more the UNC people love Kamla. Because Guardian, you've been unmasked. And we know that you love Rowley. So let's read. See this? This lady holds the UNC together from top to bottom, across the board. So Guardian, please continue to give us advice now because we really care what you have to say. You know, we sit down here and say, oh my goodness, let me get the Guardian to see what to do in the UNC. The Guardian will advise me and I will listen to you. Okay, Guardian. UNC fighting with the winds of change, says the Guardian of Rowley's Bumsy. Yes, there is clearly a deep rift in the part, a deep rift there. One faction believes in Ms. Persad-Bissessar and the other does not. Right? The fact that members of a party holding itself up to the alternative ruling party should engage in such open display of misbehaviors in itself statement of the party's degeneration. Hold on. You know what they're talking about? 3 people come there and some members in a 3,000, you could leave Kamla there now. In a 3,000 people crowd, 2 people got upset and behaved badly. Stop a man from talking. We don't tolerate that. But not a member of the National Executive, not a member of Parliament, not a chairman of a corporation, not a chairman of a constituency, not a member of a UNC constituency executive, not a member of a party group, nothing like that. Supporters, people, human beings. And the Guardian chooses to attack Kamla and the UNC because supporters behave badly. Really? That's the UNC? Huh? So when the PNM Tobogonian man take a gun to stretch and bust a man here, that was the Prime Minister? That was Balize House? Huh? Really, Guardian? Well, Guardian, let me tell you something. Let me read for you from the person who you said, who you use an incident with just people who are not members of the executive or any part or parcel of the executive structure of the USC in any way. They're just supporters. People and parties have hundreds of thousands of supporters. Okay? Well, let me read for you, Guardian, what the man who was prevented from talking by supporters, hear what he said. While you are saying that our party has degenerated into whatever, but the PNM had degenerated and them just thieving out everything. Attorney General lying in court, but them had degenerate. Rowley promoting his girlfriend and them, that is not degenerating. Ministers depositing 4.4 million in their account from MTS and they have no contract, that is not degenerating. Signing indemnity to lie on 2 opponents of the opposition with a criminal, that's not degeneration at all. Selling 2 Porsche in 1 month, that is not degeneration. And lying in the Senate, lying in the Parliament, that's not degenerating. Lying in a budget and making false figures, that's not degeneration. Shutting down the energy sector and so on, that's not degeneration. But 2 supporters behave badly, that's degeneration of the United National Congress. Guardian, you really think we just take you on? I just read it to humbug you and to show all how stupid all is. But let me show you what the man who was trying to speak and was prevented from speaking by 2 supporters of the UNC. Hear what he said, Guardian. I was always peaceful in my approach. In fact, when seated awaiting the start of the Congress, I was warmly greeted with reverent clasped hands by the Honorable Senator Anil Roberts, and I returned a similar blessing to him. Guardian, how you feel? See the UNC, the executive, the senators, the MPs, the NATEX, the UNC executives, the delegates. No one has a problem with people who have a different opinion. They were seated there for hours. They were there early. They were greeted by myself and others as members of the UNC because they disagree with us. There is no venom or vexation, but you want to print nonsense. They, in fact, had more testicular fortitude, more balls than Vasant and Lala, because Vasant and Lala come in the dark of the night late to try and make couture. But they were there from early, knowing full well that 98% of the crowd disagreed with them. And they sat there comfortably for hours on end, greeted with love and respect. We disagree with their position. That's okay, they're entitled to their position. So Guardian, you could try to talk what nonsense you want. But I want Guardian and the mass media to do me this, please. Because the math's not mathsing. Here it is. You had an incumbent prime minister of 7 years, Keith Christopher Rowley, right? 7 years. Spent over $410 billion. Controlling all the boards, 153 boards, 4,000 board appointments, 7 corporations, ministries, cabinet, treasury, controlling all the laws, all the money. And he holds an election against Karen Nunes Teixeira with a total membership in the PNM of 124,000 people. 124,000 members. And he only manages over a 3-day period 8,000 something votes. 8,000 something. Karen Nunes Teixeira and her group get about 900 something, 1,000 votes. But they don't have they don't have a faction, 1,000 to 8,000. But Kamla Persad-Bissessar get 13,000 votes. The people who went up against it get about 200 votes. But 5 of them come to create couture. And the 5 of them equal a faction. There is a faction in the UNC. How a faction in the UNC could be 5 people? But thousands of PNM. The Prime Minister only get 8,000 votes out of 124,000. His competitor get 1,000 votes. But the PNM have no faction. The UNC have a faction because Vasant still want to do something, you know what, to madman. That's a faction. Please, Archie, explain to me now, I'm not bright enough to understand the maths. 5 clown is a faction. Imagine them come to create couture. And them couldn't even walk with 100 people. Them couldn't even walk with 80 people. Them couldn't even walk with 70 people who Kamla and them gerrymander all your crowd out. Kamla and them gerrymander, they stop selling diesel for your maxi and them. La la, la la le, la 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 la. All you come to create, to show Kamla weak. And it's 5 all you couldn't even get a crew. All you couldn't get your brethren. All you couldn't even get your family to come. So give me a rest now. But you know, Archie, you know why? No, leave Kamla there. No, leave Kamla there. Because let me tell you something. You know why they're attacking the lady? You know why the Guardian will concoct and say about our faction and UNC fighting wins a change and all this nonsense. When a prime minister sitting only get 8,000 votes out of 124,000. She without her election with no real competitor, with a man with a rasta wig and a squirrel, she still get 13,000 votes. I and all get 11 or something, 10, 11. Me and him say vote for me. Rowley, I get more than Rowley. But Rowley strong and Kamla weak. Now to all of you who like to believe the perception pushed by the media, by the Guardian, by the Express, by the Newsday with Judy Raymond, by the radio station, by the TV6 and the CNC3 with the PNM morning brew with JW the PNM. You all want to believe what the PNM have to say? Well, go ahead. The PNM says she weak. But if she was weak, why they keep saying she weak? If she weak and she can't win, leave she there, all they go win. So leave she. Why are they fighting she down? Where every minute is Kamla, 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 Kamla. Why are they trying to magnify 5 people? Why are they trying to lie on the entire executive and party structure who treated people with utmost respect? Why? Why are they printing false front page? Kamla must go when they didn't even have that. Lying and print a little retraction. So why? You want me to tell you why? Because Kamla Persad-Bissessar is the glue that holds the UNC together. Opposition forces from time immemorial, from the advent of politics in Trinidad and Tobago, were taught and treated and cured and told how to splinter. And once there's a leader who was coalescing the forces, Dr. Williams would give them something, some land for the family or so on, and they will go against and splinter the opposition, and it will shatter into different disparate groups. Over 475 groups, opposition parties have been formed. The PNM, people may leave or whatever, but they never splinter, it never mash up, they always hold. The glue that holds the UNC and the opposition together is Kamla Persad-Bissessar. So they want Kamla to go, so that what will happen? No leader, new leader has emerged to say that they will coalesce everyone. Kamla right now has 98% of the UNC together supporting her policies because of her hard work, what she wants to do, where she wants to go, and how she treats people. There's a 2% that they call a faction, a 2%. If you remove this lady, you're going to have at least 7 people who want to lead. That means the UNC is going to fragment into 7 different groups, plus the 2%, which is Vasan and Lala, who feel they must be ordained to lead. They may help nobody, and touch nobody, and work for nobody, and help nobody, but they must lead. So if you take she out, all man Jack now going to scramble and get in the group and get this one and get that one, and the opposition UNC that has held together since 1988-89 will fracture and splinter, and PNM with a corrupt, disgusting, oppressive, dictatorial, tyrannical leader Rowley will win on a canter. That's why they must attack Kamla. So leave Kamla. And all of you who buy into the Express, Guardian News, put on your thinking caps. Nothing could be worse than Keith Rowley. As a man, he's a mole. He's a scumbucket. He's make woman feel to go and bathe. He nasty as a father. He's disgusting. He's only mind and show up the ones inside. And the ones outside he's treat with disdain. That is disgraceful. As a leader, he's a liar. And he's corrupt. And he breached procurement legislation to legalize thieving. He is usurping control of all independent institutions, thwarting your democracy, and he's evil, he's wicked, he's heartless. He wants you to wean off all the money. This lady wants the money for you, your money for you, for your children, for the differently able, for single mothers, for babies. That's why they're fighting down this woman. The problem all you have is, this woman strong. You want to know why? All are we below, she and around, she going down in structure across Trinidad and Tobago, believe in her, believe in her policies, and we give her the strength. So all you feel all you coming at she? No, it's not like 1956 when Indian was weak and all you run up in the house and we're not afraid that. PNM, we will not be bullied. All you mad, Rowley fire burn you, you big bullet, kill kitty clung, you drink scotch and fall down, you vomit on yourself, Rowley, and ball what? You're sick. You get COVID or COVID. Why you don't go and lime in one Woodbrook place? So leave the lady. That's the lady that holds the opposition together. That lady held a government together with Congress of the people. I was a member of the Congress of the People. I fall out with Ukraine in 2 months because I couldn't believe this man was saying one thing, and when I watch he saw he doing the exact opposite. She was in a government and hold 5 parties together. Nobody around. He carry him whole. He own one party together. He cannot fire Armour. He cannot fire Al-Rawi. He cannot fire Smallpen. He cannot fire Colm. He cannot fire Fitzgerald. He cannot fire Camille. He cannot fire Convert Girl. He can't fire nobody, because if he fire them, the whole house of cards collapse. And all they say, this lady weak? No, rather strong. She may not speak loud like me, but she's strong. Stronger than me. She's stronger than you. She beat Bastille Pandey. So they leave the woman alone. And to y'all who like to believe the PNM agenda, PNM is bad, but Kamla have to go. She can't win. She can't win because all you believe in that stupidness. She could win once all you don't believe the PNM propaganda. Once the people unite and she have the biggest group together and bring the others on top to beat the PNM, even though they gerrymandered and cheating, then she win and she's strong. But also understand this and hear this now. For all of them who feel them a small group, I mean, she nice and diplomatic and thing. She talking to people small group. My boy Watson Duke, you answer and say what you ain't taking on Kamla, but Watson Duke, you don't even have a party. Fali and them take away your PDP from you. The whole executive of the THA is now something else. So Watson, slow your roll, brother. Slow your roll. It's Anil talking to you. Cool yourself. Don't start me. And for any other group who get 9 vote here and 10 vote there, cool yourself. Slow all your roll. Do what you want. Don't bad talk the lady. If all they don't want to come and join and help, well, that's so be it. Fight and get your 10 votes. Good for you. But to all you citizens out there who fed up of Rowley and his nonsense, fed up of attorneys general who lying, fed up of attorneys general who sell Porsche and don't transfer, fed up of the abuse of power, the abuse of the Constitution, the thwarting of independent institutions, the thwarting of procurement legislation, the oppression and the tyranny of Rowley. Unite under this lady. She's as strong as each and every one of us. Bless. And always remember, if you come home, Archie, and your wife say, it have chicken to eat or some old rotten fish that was there for 3 weeks, you come and say, well, I feeling for a sirloin steak. She said, but there's no steak. We have no steak. The shop's closed. It's 9 p.m. We can't get steak. There's no steak. You have chicken or rotten fish. You have to choose between chicken or rotten red fish. That simple. So stop talking about drama and utopia and things that don't exist in this politics where you have to get hundreds of thousands of people to dip their finger. Start with 309,000 and add to that. Bless.